And I'm just so grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like humbled.
No, it's true because we're here today, but that doesn't mean we're going to be here tomorrow. Like,
That's
so you
right.
have to really be grateful for what you have now. But even like when I wake up all the time, like, because there's going to be a day where I'm not going to wake up. Like, you know,
That's right.
and I'm like,
That's right.
oh my gosh, God, like, thank you so much. Because I could be sleeping, you know, dreaming and stuff. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm here another day.
A.P. Yeah. They Mr. owe me like Aaron, what happened? I can't go backwards, this my new chapter. Move to Atlanta, them trappers and scammers. I pray for my youngins, you talking about practice? On the track, I go ape like bananas.
Peace, beautiful family. This is Dr. Walter Hidalgo, and this is the Know Thyself podcast. The Know Thyself podcast utilizes the metaphor of the shelf in order to extrapolate the self. And the way we do that is we invite guests to come in and share something about themselves. And before I introduce my guest, check out the website, www.knowthatshelf.tv. There you'll find information on my book, which I'm going to get an award. Shout out to the Impact Book Awards. I'll be there in Phoenix. That's so dope. What a blessing, yo.
So
what
good.
a freaking blessing, yo. God is good. And also you can get information about coaching or on the workshops that I give for tweens. My most popular one is Living in the Matrix, the do's and don'ts of social media. And Professor Griff said that media is multi-ethnic destruction in America.
No.
The other thing we do is I like to shout out a group of individuals. And today I want to give a big shout out to all my strong women, yo. Probably the strongest person I know in my life is my mom, man. Like, wow, man, what a warrior. I want to give a big shout out to all my single parents, yo. I'm part of that, you know. You're not alone. Oof, you're not alone. That's all I'm going to say. I want to give a big shout out to my Connecticut family, yo. Because we live right here. Because I got somebody here that I respect, that I admire, and that I'm really proud of. My sister from another, Kimberly. Honored. Thank you so much for taking this time out of your life. You know, people ask me why you do this, and then someone once told me, you know, Walter, it's not about you, and it never is. Your daughter's gonna see this when she's older. She'll be like, your dad was talking to this person? Yeah. And it's beautiful. I always like to contextualize things. So if we were to step back into the time machine, I know you've seen Back to the Future. Yeah, maybe?
A little bit.
Little bit? Oh, you gotta watch it. There's Bill and Ted's. What about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna hurt.
Matrix, though, the Matrix.
Oh,
yeah.
of course. You have to see,
Yeah.
speaking of living in the Matrix.
Right.
So basically, the premise is just going back into a time machine. So I want to go back in time to a younger Kimberly. If we were to go, you know, let's start off, people want to know exactly a time frame. It's really up to you. But, you know, younger years, your tweens, you know, if we were to step back into time, what would we see? What would we hear? What would we smell? If you were giving us a tour of your life, because you're originally from?
Upstate New York.
Oh, okay. That's right. I forgot you were from upstate.
I was born in upstate New York, but then I moved from upstate to Springfield, Mass. And then from Springfield, Mass, I moved here to Manchester, Connecticut.
Interesting.
Yeah. So how far do you want me to go? Because I can start from my Rochester days.
Let's start. What would you say was one out of those places that really formed you?
Oh, definitely Springfield.
Let's talk about Springfield. And yo, shout out to Springfield. Ooh, I know about Springfield. Oh, God, dude. Not only the Hall of Fame is there.
The Hippodrome was there, if you ever went there.
But it's very drug infested. And it's a hood.
Right.
And it's the hood.
Yeah.
And I know what's up. I know people out there and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been there. So talk to us about Springfield.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Springfield. the most. But my mom, she was married to my dad for 12 years, right? And I have to piece that a little bit in because I didn't spend a lot of time in Rochester because they had separated when I was 5. But my mom and dad were together for 12 years. I'm the youngest of 4. All of my siblings were a year apart, minus me, I'm like a year and a half apart. But I'm the youngest, and basically, my dad was a huge alcoholic. So since he was a huge alcoholic, the home was just very abusive, like towards my mom, towards us, and one day, which of course I remember all the details of like the fight or whatever the case is, but my mom prior to that was already packing things for a while, so that when it was time to like escape, it was like to leave. So randomly, I do remember it was a normal day after school. That changed everything. I ended up in Springfield the next morning, and it was because they got into this really bad argument, and then my mom ended up just packing up our stuff, and we took like a Peter Pan bus to Springfield. She had her brother there. And what is crazy is that she was a stay-at-home mom, and obviously with being a stay-at-home mom, you have no money, right. No car, like everything right. is not yours owned. So for my mom to leave that comfort to then start like the unknown, like I know now as a mom that had to be like really hard, but we ended up actually living in a shelter for 3 years. So we lived in a shelter because obviously she had like nothing, we had nothing. We were very poor, but even if we were poor, we were actually really happy, which is very beautiful. Because my mom always instilled to be grateful for anything. And she never made it like obvious that we were poor. The only people that made it obvious were like kids from school. Cause and like they were like making fun of our clothes and stuff. But other than that, like I didn't know. Like we walked everywhere. We thrifted all of our clothes because next door to the shelter was like the Salvation Army. But I used to get like super hyped, like, oh my gosh, like this was such a great find. Like, and even still as like an adult, I go thrifting because that's like my roots. And the good news, I guess, from that is we shifted from being in the shelter from 3 years to then getting accepted into the projects. So that's where we lived like my whole life. In the projects in Springfield, in a better area because the shelter was not in a good area. Then when we moved to the projects, it was like the most safest of projects. It was still like not good, but it wasn't as bad as like compared to other ones. But a lot of like my life, it was from, I want to say 8 years old, or 8 or 9, all the way up until 18. I lived in the projects. It's
you know, as I gotten older, I really do see the impacts that alcoholism does, you know, and the fact that you started the conversation with that, because that had a couple of, you know, points for me too. And the impacts and the ripples that it has with our family, and others would even go as far as say it's genetically imposed in us as well. So we have to be very careful. But the trauma that comes with that, you know what I mean? But I kind of look at you and you're really resilient.
Thank you. A lot of people actually say that.
Yeah, and I love it because, like your mom, like I kind of feel like, damn, I'm getting a little touched. Good. Because if you can smile through it all, you're on another level.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, but I'm talking about your mom.
Yeah, no, my mom, she's something else, like for sure.
Yeah, I think that's important because, you know, when I tell people, when they ask me, you know, what's my faith? And I say, you know, my faith is whenever things are going great, thank you, Lord. Whenever things are going bad, thank you, Lord. Because it's all part of the journey. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. Like humbled.
No, it's true because we're here today, but that doesn't mean we're going to be here tomorrow. Like, so you have to really be grateful for what you have now. But even like when I wake up all the time, like, because there's going to be a day where I'm not going to wake up. Like, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, God, like, thank you so much. Because I could be sleeping, you know, dreaming and stuff. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm here another day. And like, this life is not guaranteed. Like, God doesn't have to give you another day. Like, that's just His mercy that does that. And You know, there's people who experience getting older in age. There's people who die at 20. Like, you know,
That's
it's just
right.
like,
Yeah.
so I think about that all the time because at least for me, like I grew up seeing a lot of people die young around my age, especially in high school, and they didn't even make it outside of high school.
That's right.
And like you said, like it wasn't like the greatest area to be in, but to like be friends with somebody and then the next day they're not in school anymore, it's like what? Like,
yeah,
it's so crazy.
And that's one of the things that I share a lot from people that don't know me, but I do suffer from survivor's guilt to this day.
Yeah.
You know, seeing my friends get killed, and I saw a lot. I come from the gang era, and I think that's what made pushed me to become a criminologist, but then later do theology and other things. But this ain't about me. I want to really shift a little gears because I know we can go so deep into this because eventually this woman that I saw from afar, she pulled up with these delicious little things, right?
Yeah.
And this thing called Power Bites,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know, because when I see Power Bites, I think of Empower. So talk to us about Power Bites. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like how it started?
Yeah, so how it started, you know, what is it, etc.
Okay, so what it is, like Power Bites, they're gluten-free protein bites, but instead of having protein powder, I sub like the redefined protein powder for nut butter instead, just as like a healthier alternative, because a lot of protein powders have like a lot of chemicals in it and not like redefined sugars and all these things.
Yep.
And I would see just the food in general now, I can see it affects like my mood, my hormones, like all these things. So I try to eat as clean as I can, and I noticed like a difference within like my focus and just like a lot, like my mood and stuff. But how, like, they're basically protein bites. I use them as like a meal replacement. Anyone could use them. Like, you don't need to be like a workout person, but ironically, a lot of my demographic is like people who work out. They're like, oh, like I used to
it's a thing. Absolutely.
So I'm like,
okay.
This is where the story gets a little like crazy, but so basically I was a stay-at-home mom when I was with my daughter's father, and I went also from being a stay-at-home mom to a single mom. So it's kind of like the generational cycle happened a little bit, maybe not as severe like alcohol and stuff, but for reasons we did not work out, and it was just a very unhealthy relationship. And I also was young, like I met them when I was 17, and then I had my daughter, I was pregnant at 19, and then I turned like 20 afterwards. So that was a thing. I was a stay-at-home mom. That's what we had decided, but that's also what I wanted to do. I didn't want someone else to like raise my daughter at the time. But in 2020, I was actually making these bites just as like a healthier alternative for me, because I don't know about you, but I was like eating junk food like a lot. Like during 2020, I gained like so much weight.
The pandemic, right?
Yeah, the pandemic.
Yes.
So it was like early pandemic though. Like I was making the bites 2019, because I still was like kind of trying to eat healthier from having like the baby and stuff, and I wanted to like lose weight, or not like lose weight, but I wanted to get back to being healthier, like eating healthier, and I wasn't at all. And I ate like a lot of ice cream and like sweets, because I'm like a huge sweets person. But when me and her dad had separated, I mean, I had no money, I had no job, I had no car, I had no place to go, I had like nothing at all. And
Sound familiar?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Isn't it deep?
Huh?
It's deep.
Yeah, it's just so crazy, because then I had asked my mom if I could like move back in with her, and that in itself, like, maybe we'll dive into that, but just as I had like a father wound, I also had a mother wound. So like for me to humbly ask her to like let me live with her, because I already had moved out at 18 anyway.
Sure.
And she was like, if you move out, like you want to act grown and like just don't come back. Like that's basically how it was.
Yeah.
And she had every right to it, like,
sure.
You know, and she ended up letting me move back in with her, but she was more so like, when are you going to move out? Like, even though not like a month didn't even go by, but I think the tough love is more so like, I don't want to see you like fall, or I want to see you like succeed. Not like, even though it didn't feel that way, it felt like I felt very ashamed and embarrassed and stuff. But I was just making like the bites for myself, and she ended up having like this event at her church, and she's like, oh, can you like donate some bites to the church because like it's like it was like a bake sale or something of that sort, so that she had to bring a dish, and she doesn't know how to like make sweets or whatever, so I like made the bites and I gave them to her in like church. And I remember her coming home from church and she was like, oh my gosh, Kim, like you have to sell these bites, everybody like liked them and stuff. And it's just crazy because I was more like naive at the time, because she only taught me to go to school or to work. She never taught me about business. So when she had told me that, I was like, Mom, I need a real job. Like, that's not a real job to like sell bites and stuff.
What?
I know. And the thing is that, so she had said that, I had said that, and we like left it there. And she's like, oh, you never know. Like, you can make money from it. I was like, okay. Then interview after interview. 2020 was like crazy for everybody. So I did like a lot of online interviews for remote work. I think I did like 15, and I got all like declined from them. So I actually had, you know, that stimulus check that came out?
Yeah.
Well, a few, but, you know, people were buying like TVs and like dumb things, like not like resourceful things. And for myself, I actually invested into getting a food license and an LLC. But listen to this.
Love it, because we talk a lot about entrepreneurship.
And that's like, I had no background
so important.
at all.
I love that you're saying this. Like, I'm so, oh God, this makes me happy.
It was like, I Googled and I YouTubed like everything.
Absolutely.
Because I was like,
because there's no excuse.
Yeah,
there's no.
Especially if you have that fancy iPhone, then just like search it
on it.
But yeah, so I knew that I got the stimulus check. I didn't want to just like throw it away, because then I thought about like what my mom had said. And I was like Googling, oh, like how can you sell, I don't know, products from home? Because, you know, Mia was still young, and I wanted to have a job where I could just be with her and not leave her like with anybody else and stuff. And I just didn't want to conform to that 9 to 5. Like, I just felt like my motherly instinct was like, I want to be with my child, especially in the younger years. And so I got the LLC, the food license, the food insurance, like all of that paid for that, which was great. And this is like crazy because I had the paperwork and stuff, and they had told me, oh, like, what are you going to name your business? And I still didn't know what I wanted to name it. So I actually prayed on it. And
the best way to do it.
I prayed on it, and I actually, I was like, God, I don't know what you would like me to name this business, but I do want the business to be like impactful for like years to come and like more longevity. And I actually had a dream about it, and loudly, like, I heard God say to like name the business Tribe. So I did name the business Tribe, but I named the business Tribe because well, people don't know, or I mean, you guys don't know, during that time when I was actually selling the bites, before I had the licensing and stuff, I was selling them like online, like people would DM me, and then I would just like ship them, and I would ship them in Ziploc bags because I had nothing to like ship them in. And obviously, like, my packaging is way different now because I have money for it, but I didn't have money before. I was like, oh, I just have the Ziploc bags, and it's still the same good product. The presentation was like not good, but people still supported, and it was people not even like my blood family. It was strangers, and
as it typically is.
Yeah, that's how it is. So I named the business Tribe because I felt like the community was giving me a tribe-like atmosphere. And they
around the
felt,
server.
Yeah, they felt more
Beautiful.
like my tribe than like my actual tribe, like my blood or whatever. So I wanted to give back to those who gave back to me, and that was to name it Tribe after like the people. And they continue to support me because it's been 5 years.
I love this. I love this because I'm on that same page too.
But there's good news after it too. So that was March 2020, like around that time.
Yeah.
Then by the end of the year, like exactly to the end of the year, like it was December, I want to say like 14th, because I remember by that time, I had saved enough money to get my own car and get my own apartment, and I moved out. And God really like showed up for me for them, because one, like when I was living with my mom, that wasn't really like a peaceful environment. And I say that just mainly because I was being pressed a lot of like what I was gonna do or like when am I gonna move out and stuff.
Hard, yeah.
So not only her, but like I kind of just wanted to like shut up everybody, and I was like, you know, like I'm gonna make so much money that none of you guys can ever like belittle me again and stuff, because I did feel very much stripped away of like my own identity when obviously I relied mutually with her father and like being a stay-at-home mom, but then to then have like nothing, like you're stripped away from your whole dignity and stuff, and I didn't want to seem like, well, even like my mom, she's just always like be an independent woman, like, and all these things, and when I did try to rely on somebody, it like blew up in my face. So of course she had something to like tell me, of course, and I know she meant well, which I love her 1,000%. And I think if she wasn't so hard on me like that, then I wouldn't be this independent woman. But I'm also like a soft woman too. So like it's the yin and yang. So like I can survive on my own and stuff, but also I'm not afraid to like fall under someone's wing either. Like it's like a good mix. But I ended up moving out December of 2020, and I never looked back. I didn't move back. I ended up making more money, and that's more stories that we get back to her, but
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. And we can keep going, but I wanna switch.
Tell me something else.
Yeah. She said, tell me something else. So I want to read something to you. I think you know this already.
Oh, I'm scared.
And when I want you to just give your reflections and thoughts. Okay. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23.
What should I say about that?
Whatever you want.
Okay, so that is a verse that I hold very close to my heart. Mainly because even through the hardships that I've endured in life, some people allow their circumstances to affect the way that they treat people, or what they allow in. Mm-hmm. Like some people turn their heart into a stone because of like experiences or like resentment or grudges. And then for myself, I always told myself that I was never gonna let the world turn me cold just because of what I've endured. So even if like people do prejudge or look at me and think like, oh, like she wasn't self-made, like because she has nice things or because XYZ, like, but no one would ever know like my story unless you ask them. So it's like, even though I've endured a lot of traumas and hardships and stuff that people will never know unless they ask me, I will continue to have that empathetic heart, have that soft heart for people and for God, and just like that divine like femininity. Like I like those things, and I like that verse because I'm always gonna have like a soft heart. And there's times that like transparently I've thought, oh, like this girl's winning because she is doing XYZ, or like this person's winning because XYZ, and you can't compare, and also you don't know what corners they've cut to like get there and stuff. And I used to be like, dang, I'm so like behind in my life because I'm so soft or because I'm so like XYZ. And it's like, no, like it might look like that on social media or whatever the case is, but you don't know what they go through behind closed doors. So that verse is like my thing because it keeps me grounded and it brings me back to reality. Like, Kim, don't change who you are or conform to like the world just because it looks like it's fun. It looks like you're missing out, because you're really not missing out anything.
It's beautiful because, hope is hearing other people's experiences. That's what hope stands for. Mm-hmm. So it's beautiful to hear your story because I don't think people know how that can change somebody's life. Mm-hmm. But I want to switch it up because one of the things we do in All That Shelf is we ask people to share something that comes from their shelf. I'm super curious about this.
It's not anything crazy. It's not anything crazy. Do I pull it out? Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's 3 pictures but I taped it because to me this is like my holy trinity, I guess you can say. So this is actually a picture of me and my mom, and then me and my dad, and then me and my daughter. So it's 3 people that I like lived through, which is my parents is one, my daughter, and then myself. Here, you can see it.
This is so beautiful. You look a lot like your mom.
Thank you.
You do.
Yeah, and there's like stories behind this because later on, like this is more of like the shelter era. Like I remember my mom, she went to like, I think her friend's party or something, like one of those house Spanish parties. And and that was the first time, because my mom was like super like stressed all the time, like super stressed. But my mom also, she's never drank or smoked either, and same with myself. I don't drink or smoke. So like it was nice to see that she still had fun even though everybody else was like drinking and smoking.
Of course, yeah.
And like that was really beautiful to see, because I'm like, oh, she can have fun, and people would like obviously force her and stuff, and she's like, no, I'm fine. So she was very grounded in her beliefs with God.
Yeah.
But I think my sister took this picture on like one of those disposable cameras. Then I would say the next one, it would be, I don't want to say this one. I would say this one because Mia's a little older here. But I ended up re-meeting my dad and forgiving him, which was...
How many times you get to hear that?
But listen to this, it's so crazy because we met him. This was actually 2021. And my dad actually was an entrepreneur, and I knew that already. He was a mechanic, a self-taught mechanic. And I always felt like I didn't have talents. I'm like, who do I get like my talents from? Because I wasn't in any sports. Like I was like a very shy kid, but mostly because of trauma, like shy. But I knew that if I stepped into like my core, like good traits, then I would know. But I didn't know that like, it all made sense after that my dad was a mechanic. I was like, oh my gosh, he's a mechanic, so that's why I'm like entrepreneurial. And but he actually passed away 6 months after I re-met him. So it's like crazy because my dad, when I re-met him, that was when I was 23. So not too long, like a few years ago, and he passed away. One, because he was still an alcoholic, but two, you know, like he was 47, 46, and like he was so young, but he was so smart though, like because he was sober when I saw him. It wasn't until like later at night he was like itching, like, hey, I have to leave because I'm like, I want to drink. But he actually like, I don't know. I felt like him and I, like he was the dad that I always needed. It was very weird because when I met him, I was 23, but like when you know like that's your parent, you like kind of fall into like, I felt like a little girl, which was so, not weird, but like it's because that little girl wasn't healed. So when I saw him, like I already started crying like instantly because I'm like, that's my dad. Like half of me is that person right there. Right. And he was the coolest guy. Like he was so cool, and I was like, oh my gosh, like you're a whole different person sober. Because when my memory of him as a kid, which I have a lot of memories of him, it was just mostly him being drunk. So I never really got to see that personality. And when I did see like that personality, he was just always like, when he was drunk, he was just like abusive. So like I correlated that to that. So that's why I didn't meet him for a long time, because he was trying to reach out to me for a long time. And my siblings had already re-met him. And I was the last one. I was like, no, like I'm scared of this person. Because also like my mom also instilled that fear in me of who this person was, because she feared him. So that's why I think it's very important for...
I think we're getting live input from the family. We're still recording, sir.
I was gonna say that's like a whole other topic, but I think that's why that if two parents don't work out and they have a kid, don't bash the other parent to the kid, because they will have this false mindset of who that person is.
Yeah.
And it affected me like my whole life, and that's why I felt like I couldn't get close to this person. And then when I did, like, it was like another huge loss for me, because I was like, dang, like, this person, even if he had his trauma, like, because I already had forgiven him anyway, so it's like,
yeah.
But my mom kept instilling like things like, oh, you better be careful, even as an adult. So I'm like fear-mongered by that. Like the little girl in me was like still fear-mongered. So I was like, oh my gosh, what if I meet him and he's gonna hit me? Like that was like little girl me, and I'm like, Kim, you're grown now. Like that's not. Yeah. Those are two separate things. But I was like, let me meet him for myself. Let me have my mindset for myself instead of my mom's, because yeah, like that wasn't a healthy relationship, but that has nothing to do with the kids. Like the kids should never know what the parents like go through or how the other person feels. Like for myself, I never talk bad about my daughter's father to her, never, because she adores, like she loves her dad, and she'll never know that like what him and I went through. But that's because she doesn't need to know that. She's innocent, she's a kid and stuff. But once you implant that seed, then their whole like reality changes and stuff. When I re-met him, I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cool. Like he's like the dad that you would want to have. And like I was telling him all these things and I didn't feel judged at all, but like I never told my mom things because I was always like judged. So I was like, man, I needed this outlet. And then so we got really close, but then he passed away 6 months later, which was like super unfortunate. And because I was like the last person to talk to him on the phone, which is like so crazy, because I talked to him at like 12 and then I was like, oh, I have to hang up because it was raining really bad and I was driving. Then by like 3 o'clock, he was like already dead, which is so crazy. And it's like really, really crazy. But I brought that too because I'm like, you know, I forgave him and I forgave her. And then here's me and Mia, which it's kind of as if like the traumas from the two, like I feel like they can't touch me, I guess you can say. Like I kind of blocked that. I like blocked that energy because
Did you forgive yourself though?
I have, but
which is the most important.
No, I definitely have. I've forgiven myself. That's a whole other story.
I know.
It's a lot. So I have forgiven myself. Of course, like I definitely have.
You're free.
I feel free. Yeah, like my mindset. Like I had my awakening, I would say, when I left that relationship with my daughter's father, and I felt like no one could control me anymore because. It was also like, I felt like I was controlled in a religious aspect because they were religious and then my mom's religious and then both of them just like,
suffocation.
So then I was like free and then I was like, I'm free and I don't care about what anybody says. So that was like I love that period of time. And with Mia, she's actually who I would have been as a kid if I didn't grow up in the household that I did. So like, she's very free-spirited, very, very free-spirited, very social, very
so
like...
happy?
Yeah, she's like always so she wakes up and she's like, Mom, I'm ready to start the day. So it's like really beautiful to see that because I just see myself in her and I'm living my childhood through her with boundaries, of course, but like she is just she was a happy child and our kids, they only know what we teach them. So like even though her father and I are not together and we co-parent, first of all she won't ever know because like she never saw us together. So like we broke up when she was like 10 months, 11 months. So like she never saw both parents together. But like I said, whatever you teach your kid, that's
we have a lot in common.
Yeah, cool. I don't know if that like should we like I'm not pushing broken homes.
No.
But we can try our best to like whatever work out.
I'm hearing you because it's women are so. It's already been proven about an average 1.5 years ahead of men.
Oh yeah.
Like y'all are very smarter and it took me a little while. Okay. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't there. But I thank the Lord that as of recent, I'm in a way better place with my daughter's mother.
Yeah.
And I'm
takes
happy this is
time.
live and I'm being a little transparent because I don't really like to
Yeah.
get my business out there
No,
like
I
that.
agree,
But
yeah.
I do agree, and this is for us men and women, that you shouldn't bash anybody, particularly to your child, because we're all going through something, yo.
Yeah.
And I really learned a lot in my life to have a little bit of grace with people, even people that I swear to goodness I want to punch in their face physically. I know, but it's like you have to kind of, and it's hard because everybody is very different. Everybody. And your daughter's going to be someone very different. But we are the colliding of our parents. You are your mom's resilience and you are your dad's intelligence.
Yeah.
Pow.
So cool.
You know what I mean? And it's beautiful. Like me, I'm my mom with like religion and education, and with my dad, entrepreneurship and also revolution.
Yeah.
Because he's very like that. But like I'm hearing your story and I'm just like, wow, yo. Like wow. You're you're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, you're a woman of faith, you know. There's another Kimberly somewhere in the world, probably a lot more than we know, actually, statistically. She don't have nobody to talk to. What would you say to her?
Ooh. There's a couple of things I would say. One, there's one for the entrepreneurial side, and then there's one for like the woman's side. So for the woman's side, I would say definitely to just keep going even when you're sad, when you're mad, when you're happy, that like your days, there's like brighter days ahead, I would say. And for me, for a long time, that's like a whole other topic with like mental health. It's like there were days that I felt like they just weren't getting better, and that tied in with like a lot of anxiety and like I would say like depression and stuff. But like what kept me going was definitely like Mia, and I didn't want her to see that. So kids really like instill that in you and stuff, even when you feel like you can't. But I would say keep going and know that this is not like your present moment is not your forever, because for myself, for a long time, like basically on paper, I'm like a statistic, like, oh, teen mom, oh, single mom, poor, like a lot of different statistics or stereotypes in one. But there's so much more to me than those labels.
Damn Skippy.
And if people got to know me, they would know that and stuff. And I know that there's a lot of women who probably feel that way. Like for myself, for a long time, I was like, oh, like I've been single X amount of years, and like, God, where's my husband? Like I am this and that and stuff. Like I'm a great woman and I have all these good qualities, but like I don't have that. Like, and for some reason, like I based my value on that because I felt a little bit embarrassed that I was just such a stereotype, I guess you can say. And then, but what I thought now, I'm like, okay, I've been single for X amount of time, but if God is delaying it, it's because he's trying to like perfect it for you.
Cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah, and so that when you actually do get that, whatever it is that you prayed for, it was perfectly made for you and crafted for you. And now, like, that's kind of where I'm at in life, where I'm like, I'm not rushing no process. Like, actually, God, take your time. Take your time as much as you can. And I will use this time to continue to sharpen myself.
Enjoy the ride, you know?
So it's actually like,
Enjoy the
I'm
ride.
like, it's good. Like, the journey is everything. Like, people think the destination is everything, but the journey is who you are made to be for that destination and for whenever you get there. So the journey really is important, and I think people should spend more time in that. And then for like the entrepreneur side, just start. I would say just start anywhere. It does not matter. Like, you do not need like a perfect presentation. You don't need to know everything. Like, you learn as you go. And it's still trial and error. Like 5 years later with business, like, one, my presentation definitely doesn't look the same, like starting off with like Ziploc bags and stuff, but also too, like, my recipes, like, they changed a bit. New flavors came out. Like, I know a lot more than I did when I had started. But the good thing is that I started and I didn't allow, like, embarrassment to get in the way of that, or, like, lack of presentation and stuff. Because for a while I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Like, this is what my product looks like. But then people still like the product. So I was like, just start anywhere. And you don't need, like, the fancy presentation. Whatever money you have, invest into that, and then just enjoy the journey again, I would say. Yeah.
If people want to reach out to you and connect with you and buy Power Bites and all that, and just connect with you, what's your contact and where can they reach you?
Well, I would say if you want to buy or check out the business page and the journey of the business, then definitely, like, on Instagram or Facebook, and they're both under Try Power Bites LLC. And then if it's, like, a personal, then you can go on my Instagram or Facebook as well. And the Instagram is The Resilient Prada, so it's Kimberly Gonzalez Prada. Then Facebook is also the same thing, Kimberly Prada-Gonzalez as well too.
Cool, Prada, huh?
That's another story. Another story.
I know. Yeah. I typically, I forget, like, in the beginning, I usually tell the audience how do I know you, and I met you through my sister,
his amazing sister.
And I was gonna say my sister is extremely like
cool.
No, she's very fortunate to have you as a friend.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's beautiful for me. Like, it kind of touches me a lot because man, I've been around this world, you know,
Yeah.
and, like, when I see people who just never stop and smile, it's just, it gives me hope. And for me, that's where God is at right there.
Yeah.
That intersectionality of Peter coming out of the boat, not sure, but the Lord just goes, just look at me, just focus, you got this. And you can float too, you know, you can float.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie The Shack?
Yeah. Wait, is that with Leonardo?
No, you need to watch The Shack.
The Shack? Wait, what is that?
And get a lot of tears. It's because it's a lot of your life in there. All of it.
Is it a Christian movie?
Yeah, but not as you think.
But who's in it? Like the main
I forget the characters, but it's one of those movies that really, yeah. But I just wanted to say that I'm so proud of you. You know, like who you are, the person God made you. You know, the resilience that's in you. Like, when I first saw you, to be honest with you, I was like, I saw your light. Like, there's people that I see, I'm like, oh, there's some, and then your daughter, like the way she's, her light too, you know, and you would never know. You would never know.
You never know until you ask.
You know what I mean?
Thing,
and it's, and it's even, that makes you even more ill. You know what I mean? Like, it makes you even more, it's like, wow, like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow like, you know, like it's important. All right. As we always do, we end with a quote. And this one comes to us from T.D. Jakes. And it reads as such. And remember, this dog is in the back. The world is a university and everyone in it is a teacher. Make sure when you wake up this morning, you go to school.
Yay.
Peace, family.
It's cold, it's cold, it's cold, Let's go. His night falls, the fight calls. The inner city queen is awakened from my soul, embracing how it feels